Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, Sosa has arrived. We'll give you all the details. Forest draw Newcastle in the second round of the Carabao Cup. There's rumours of a second bid going in for a striker, and I'll give you my thoughts ahead of the Bournemouth game and who I think will start. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. We got a lot to tell you about today. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Let's get over 700 likes. Screw it, I'm in a good mood. Sosa's here, everything's rosy. So let's see if you guys can get 700 likes. And don't forget, this prize from Football Prizes is next level. So check out what you can win. The main prize is the Callum Hudson-Odoi signed shirt. But even more impressive than that is 3 insta-win prizes on signed framed shirts. You got Aina, Alanga, and my boy Sangare. If you hit ticket 99 for Aina, ticket 299 for Alanga, and ticket 199 for Sangare. If you get the Sangare shirt, drop me a message. I'm tempted to buy it off you. Scan the QR code or check out the link below. And we have a brand new show coming for you tonight at 8 p.m. We've listened to all your feedback, all the talking over each other and everything like that. Those of you who got annoyed with it on Grumpy Old Reds, tune in tonight 8 p.m. for a brand new Forest show for you. Okay, all that said, let's get into this video and let's kick it off with Sosa. Now, off the rip, I'm going to say, I don't know about you guys, let me know in the comments down below. I'm getting pretty bored of this transfer. I've kind of lost the hype of it. This is nothing against the player. I think he's a great player. But my God, is this one dragged out with all the sagas we've seen, all the roly-polies going on and all the back and forths, planes being turned around and everything else. Well, let me bring you up to speed with where we are. So Sosa landed at Heathrow at about 4 a.m. today. He's making his way up to Nottingham. By the time you're watching this, he's probably there and is going to undergo his medical. Now, Forest, we believe, I don't know if this bit's true or not, but we believe Forest are trying to get him announced sometime later on this evening. So whether or not that's true, I can't confirm, but it would kind of make sense. It would probably stop Nuno getting all the questions in his presser. But anyway, the deal itself, let me talk you through it. It's 11.7 million euros and there's 5 million in add-ons as well based on performance related bonuses. There's also a 15% sell-on clause that if Forest were to sell him on, then Tellez are going to get 15% kickback on that. And he is signed until 2029. And that's really the deal of it. I think we've talked him to death on this channel. It feels like, my God, man, my hair's going grey. It's been that long with him. And I just think that let's leave it there with Sosa. Cracking player. We'll do a whole scout review report on him for you guys on the channel as well. Maybe early next week, something like that, so you can get a real flavour of what we can expect. Now, in terms of can he play against Bournemouth? The answer will be yes, because if he's registered 24 hours, I think the deadline's 12 p.m. on a Friday for Saturday match. If he's registered before then he's eligible to play. However, I do not expect him to see it. Maybe we'll see him, put out in front of the crowd at the City Ground at the weekend. Maybe an outside chance of on the bench, but I don't expect to see him play. I'd love to see him play just because shiny new toy and all that. But I don't expect it. We'll talk more about the Bournemouth match in just a minute. So how are you guys feeling? Are you sick to death of this transfer? I'm just glad it's done. Get your thoughts in down below. All right, before we move back on to the transfer news, for those of you who may not have seen it yesterday, the Carabao Cup second round draw was done. And they've divided it up into this northern draw and a southern draw and so on and so forth. And there was the highest ranked team in there, technically, based on league position last season, was Newcastle United. And of course, Forest, being Forest, had to go and draw them. It's at the City Ground. It will be played the week commencing the 26th of August, so probably on the Tuesday night. And that falls in between our Southampton game and Wolves game. And honestly, I'm a little bit annoyed about this. Look, I don't really care about the League Cup that much. I know some of you do, I know some of you don't. I was hoping we'd get a crappy lower league team, a Barrow, a Tranmere, a Leicester City, something like that, where we could maybe put out these new players and just get them to cut their teeth a little, get them used to the City Ground, get them used to Nuno's tactics and everything. And with Newcastle not being in Europe this season because Man U won the FA Cup, which then knocked them out of the Conference League and then out of Europe. So basically Man U have screwed us over. Typical Man U. Forest will have to put a full strength team out if Nuno is serious about the cups, because Newcastle will be. They have no European commitments. Now, what we know from Nuno is all last season he was telling us how much he loves the cups, the FA Cup. Obviously, we were out of the League Cup before he'd even joined against Burnley, was it last season? I think it was. So we'll see. I think Nuno will take this cup seriously. I think he'll probably put a full strength team out. And we're going to get a good match. And if we go through, I'm going to be happy. I do want a cup run. Not because I want to win the cup. I just want momentum, really. It's a bit like when you go back to the first season when we got promoted. Cooper got us on a really good cup run in the League Cup. And then we got screwed over by Man U again. So something like that just helped build momentum. It helped give us extra weekday matches, which I quite like as well. So I'm hoping that we beat Newcastle, then get a crappy team like Leicester. I mean, I doubt they'll go through to the next round. And then we can just keep building the momentum. So those are my thoughts on the game. I don't want Newcastle, but it is what it is. How do you guys feel about the League Cup? Let me know down below. I'm intrigued. Do you care about it? Or is it one of those ones where we've won it 4 times before, so of course we should care about it? Let me know what you think. All right, let's get back to the transfers and give you an update on Evan Nielsen, the player that Forest had put a sneaky bid in. We don't know when, actually. It could have been a few weeks ago. It could have been a few days ago. That got rejected. Then Bournemouth put in a bid for him, and that got rejected as well. Now, what those fees are on the bid, we don't know. His valuation is about 35 million euros, but he has a release fee clause of 100 million euros. Now, don't worry about these release fee clauses. You'll see, like, I don't know, I think Vinicius Jr. has $500 million on him or something silly. I don't know what it is. I'm making it up. But it's basically to make them untenable in certain situations. Anyway, back to the point. There's now rumours that Forest are going to put a second bid in for him. However, enter the fold. Yes, you guessed it. West Ham. West Ham are now interested in him. There are rumours to say that they're thinking about a bid. And on top of that, Spurs are thinking about putting a bid in for him. Now, let's kind of play this one out and flesh it out a little. West Ham have bought the German striker, I forgot his name, Fulrug or something. So they've splashed out there. West Ham have splashed out over 100 odd million already this transfer window. Spurs have just paid 60 odd million for Solanke. Bournemouth have had the bid rejected. They may come back in as well. They've got Solanke money burning a hole in their pocket. I don't like this. If Forest are going to put a second bid in on this could turn into a bidding war because there's already 4 teams that are clearly connected to this player. And on top of that, this fee could get silly high. Now, I like this player. I actually think he's better than Jimenez, the other player we're linked with. I'll talk about him in just a second. But if Forest are going to get into a bidding war, I don't want us involved, but he's really good. He reminds me a bit of a Suarez. You could say there's a little Solanke in him. That's going to excite the likes of Rob. And he scored loads of goals. I think he got 24 goals last season, something like that. In 96 appearances for Porto, he's had 37 goals. He's a goal-scoring machine. You can say, obviously, you would expect anyone playing for Porto or Benfica to be able to score loads of goals. But what I like as well is, obviously, Brazilian, speaks Portuguese, coming in from the same league that we just got Jota from. There's a lot of nice feel-good factors about this signing. And I do prefer him to Jimenez. But I feel if Forest are going to end up with someone, it probably will be Jimenez because there's not as much interest in him. There's still these reports that Forest are going to put a second bid in for Jimenez at some point this week. Now, nothing like that's materialized at the time of recording this video, but it feels like Forest are kind of checking out each striker, putting a little feeler. Can we progress this one any further? Hit a brick wall. Let's come back to this other striker, which is the way you have to do transfers these days. So that's the update on it. It's technically not really an update, apart from the rumours that Forest may be going back in for him. And if they do, as long as the other clubs that are rumoured in don't go in for him, I'm up for it. Just don't get into a bidding war, Forest. What are your guys' thoughts on Evan Nielsen? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so let's do a very quick preview on the Bournemouth match. Don't forget, we sat down with Statman John. By the way, he's not that confident about beating Forest. I don't know if he's blagging me or not. I'll leave it on the end screen. Go watch it and see if you agree with me or not on it. But I'm going to give a quick preview. Why? Because I don't feel yet, until we've seen a Nuno team in the Premier League, that we can give you a full idea and a flavour of what to expect. It's all speculation right now. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to show you the predicted team that I think Nuno's going to go with. And I don't think this is going to be a million miles off the mark. Oh, hello, cool graphic. So as you can see here, I think he's going to go Sells in goal. Well, firstly, formation-wise, 4-2-3-1. And he's going to go with that partnership, I hope, of Milinkovic and Murillo. I think Nico Williams gets the nod ahead of De Silva. And then this is the one I'm not sure about. This 6-8 combo with Sangare and whoever's going to partner him. Now, my gut feeling says it's going to be Ryan Yates. I can't bring myself to put it as Ryan Yates. I'm putting Danilo there. Personally, I'd probably go Anderson. And this is the headache I think Nuno has, is where do you fit Anderson? Where do you fit Yates? Where do you fit Danilo? Where do you fit Dominguez? Is this number 8 position is going to be a big headache for him. A good headache, may I add. But I think it'll be Danilo or Yates, I think. Morgan Gibbs-White, most definitely in the number 10. And then on this Elanga position on the right-hand side, I still have a gut feeling that if Miguel leaves Newcastle, Elanga could still end up at Newcastle himself. And we have seen Dominguez play on that right-hand side and then bring in Elanga on later on in the second half of the pre-seasons, etc. I wouldn't be surprised if he went Dominguez on the right-hand side. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is a shoo-in on the left, and Taiwo's just not had the minutes for me in pre-season to be able to trust him to start this match. And I think Chris Wood will lead the lineup. I don't think this team prediction is a million miles off what we're going to see. I think it will be close. But do you guys agree with it or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, in terms of the gameplay, I want to see, and I know it plays into Bournemouth's hands, but I want to see more of what we saw in pre-season. Those link-up plays, those patterns of plays, a bit more pressing. I still don't feel we were great on the press. Obviously, Murillo needs to cut out those silly mistakes as well. And then a bit more possession from Forest. And that way, we can just start creating patterns of play, get in behind the defence, score the goals, beat Bournemouth, shoot up the league, everyone's happy, roll on Southampton, roll on Newcastle, and then roll on Wolves. But they're our bogey team. I just keep coming back to this point. I know this is going to be like, whoa, really? You're going overboard here. But hear me out. I think this Bournemouth game is of huge, huge importance. Like, okay, not season defining, but it could be a sliding door moment. What do I mean by this? If we can beat Bournemouth, I feel like the happy clapper juice will flow. Everyone's going to be feeling good vibes. Let's get on. I can't wait for the next match against Southampton and all that stuff. And we can ride that wave of momentum. But I'm worried. I don't know how you guys feel, so let me know in the comments. If we do lose to Bogey Mouth, as I'm going to start calling them, because they are our bogey team, then does that bubble pop? And it's like all that pre-season good vibes that we've had over the last 5 to 6 weeks, whatever it's been, kind of goes out the window. I can't. I don't want that to happen. I don't. Well, obviously, why would I? But you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to predict a Forest win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Forest. I got a good feeling, but I'm scared as well because the boginess of this team. Give me your predictions in the comments down below. Now, if you want to see all my predictions for this week so far, I've put it together on our second channel, the Footy Network. I'll leave the link for you there. Please do make sure you're subscribed there. Watch the video, give it a like, you know, all the usual good stuff, because we'll be putting loads of content out there. And tonight at 8 o'clock, brand new Forest show. You're going to love it, I hope. And we will see you then. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight. Come on, you Reds.